Super Slam Dunk Touchdown is all sports combined into one. It's retro styled, so it looks a little bit like your classic 8 and 16-bit sports titles, but it's actually driven by 3D physics, so there's a lot going on. If you imagine kicking a football down the turf or a bowling ball on ice, how those might work in different environments with different throw styles. We combine all that together to make one sort of super sport. The rules to the game are essentially driven by the physics of the ball and the player that's making the shot. So if you imagine a basketball player is going to shoot, they got to shoot upwards. So we have a field goal and we have a basketball hoop that the basketball player can shoot for. But if you're a hockey player, you're only going to be hitting low towards the net. So we have a lower net for that. So we have 3 different ways to score, and the points of values are based on the different types of goals you can make. With a modern retro style game, you can do a lot of things that would have been a lot more difficult to do on the primitive 8-bit games. And they did a pretty good job simulating it, but when you think about a sports game, it's a 3-dimensional game. You've got X, you've got Y, and you've got Z. The ball leaves the ground. So being able to put in the mass of a bowling ball or the shape of a football and just letting the physics engine do all the work takes so much of the development time off of my hands that I can spend towards making the game fun and adding a bunch of fun features to it instead of worrying about the simulation aspects of it. So for the art style of Super Slam Dunk Touchdown, I went with a retro look because I wanted to evoke the feeling of those classic 8 and 16-bit games that you might have grown up with. And at the same time, it makes the game feel very accessible because you see a character on the screen, you get a stick, you move them around, you don't have to worry about juggling the ball or doing a bunch of complex moves. So I wanted to be simple and accessible, and I felt that the classic style of art would speak to that. Working with the Shield is awesome. The hardware is fantastic. It runs the game butter smooth. I've not seen any Android device run it as well as the Shield can do. And NVIDIA has been great partners from the beginning, helping me along the way as an independent developer. I highly recommend developing for NVIDIA Shield.